You think after 20 years of this, 20 years walking these same polished linoleum floors at SeaTac, you've seen it all. You've seen runners, you've seen smugglers, you've seen proposals gone wrong right in the middle of the concourse. You think you're shockproof. And then your dog, the one creature on this planet you trust more than your own instincts, more than your own eyes, decides to just break. My name is Sully. Jake Sullivan, but everyone just calls me Sully. I'm a K9 handler, have been since I got out of the service. My partner is Boone, 100 pounds of Belgian Malinois and pure, unadulterated instinct. He's not a pet, he's a professional, and he's never ever been wrong. So when we were doing a routine sweep of Concourse B ahead of some VIP arrival, you know, the usual dog and pony show for the suits, and Boone suddenly froze. It wasn't just unusual. It was terrifying. He was dead still. His head, his tail, all one straight line. He wasn't tracking narcotics. He wasn't on explosives. He was locked. I gave the light tug on the leash, the silent command, on duty. He ignored me. That's when the blood drained from my face. And it got worse. One by one, the entire unit, all 12 dogs on the sweep, they just stopped. They turned, slow, deliberate, like wolves, and formed a perfect, silent semicircle. And the target? The thing that had 12 high-drive, $1,000 an hour police dogs ignoring their handlers? It was a little girl, maybe 4 years old, blonde pigtails, pink sneakers, clutching one of those floppy-eared teddy bears like it was a life raft. The terminal just stopped breathing. Everyone froze. The guy at the Cinnabon, the families in line for boarding, the flight attendants. You could hear a pin drop, and then you couldn't. Because the screaming started. People grabbed their kids, they whipped out their phones, figuring they were about to film a tragedy. Agent Davies, the new hotshot supervisor from Homeland, Mr. $10,000 scanner himself, starts yelling in my ear. Sully, get control of your animal. What the hell is this? I didn't even look at him. I was looking at Boone, and Boone. Boone wasn't aggressive. He wasn't snarling. His head was low, his ears were twitching. This wasn't attack. This was assessment. And then he did something I've never seen. He took a step forward, and then another, and he sat down right in front of the little girl, placing his body between her and the terminal. The other 11 dogs mirrored him, forming a wall. A living shield. They weren't containing her. They were protecting her. Everyone stay back, I shouted, my voice cracking a little. Give them space. They're working. Davies was having none of it. Working what, Sully? She's a toddler. Your dogs are having a psychotic break. I'm calling this off. You do that, I muttered, moving slowly, hands open. But I trust my dog. I knelt down, keeping my eyes low. Hey there, sweetheart. My name's Sully. This big guy here, he's Boone. He's a little worried. You okay? The little girl just stared. Not at me, not at the dogs. She was just gone, zoned out. Her knuckles were white on that bear. Sweetheart, where's your mommy? Nothing. And that's when a woman burst through the security line screaming a name. Maya! Oh my God, Maya! She sprinted toward us and the entire K9 line tensed. I threw up a hand. Ma'am, stop right there. Don't run. She collapsed onto the floor, sobbing. They took her. I was in the restroom. I was gone for 1 minute. They took my daughter. Well, hell. This just went from a K9 malfunction to a potential kidnapping. Davies, to his credit, shut up and started coordinating with airport police. I looked back at the girl, Maya, then at the mom. Ma'am, we're trying to help. But the dogs, they seem very interested in that bear she's holding. The mother, Sarah, looked confused. Her bear? It's Barnaby. She won't go anywhere without it. Boone crept forward, his nose twitching like crazy. He wasn't sniffing the girl. He was sniffing the bear. He nudged it with his nose, then let out this low, soft whine. A sound of deep, deep anxiety, ma'am. Where did you get this bear? Sarah's face crumpled. My husband. He gave it to her. She couldn't finish. Before what, Sarah? Before he disappeared. He was an engineer. At Aerodyne Defense, he found something. Something wrong. He was going to talk. And then he was just gone. His car. They found it by the sound. They said it was an accident. I felt my stomach turn into a lead weight. This was not an airport problem anymore. This was something else. Davies, I called out. Bring the portable scanner. Now. Davies hurried over, his usual arrogance gone, replaced by a kind of twitchy curiosity. He ran the scanner over the girl, nothing. He ran it over the bear. The machine let out a screech, a high-pitched alarm that meant high-density, non-organic material. "It's cold," Davies whispered, looking at the thermal reading. "There's a lithium signature, dense, like a battery pack." "It's not just a battery," I said, watching Boone. "He wouldn't react this way to a battery. He's terrified of it." Then the little girl, Maya, finally spoke. Her voice was this tiny, whispery thing. "The sewing man was nice," she said, still staring at nothing. "He fixed Barnaby," I froze. The sewing man, sweetheart. "Here, at the airport?" She nodded. "I dropped Barnaby." His arm ripped. The man in the dark jacket said he could fix it. He had a needle. He took Barnaby to the men's room and made him better. My blood ran cold. I looked at Davies. He looked at me. This wasn't a kidnapping. This wasn't a lost child. This was a handoff. And we, and 12 of the most sensitive K9s on the West Coast, had just walked right into the middle of it. "EOD," I shouted. "Get EOD, bomb squad, now, and clear this concourse. Tell them we have a compromise device. And get this mother and child out of here." The terminal erupted. Alarms, flashing lights, people being herded like cattle. But the mom, Sarah, she wouldn't move. "I'm not leaving my daughter." "You're not," I said. "We're moving you both." We got them into a secure office. The bomb tech, a guy named Petro, came in looking like he was about to defuse a suitcase nuke. He took one look at the scanner readings from the bear, grabbed it with a remote claw, and placed it in the containment box. "Sully," he said, his voice tinny over the speaker. "This isn't a bomb." "What is it, Petro?" "It's complicated. It's a shielded enclosure, military grade. It's transmitting." He cut the bear open right there. Inside, nestled in the stuffing, was not a bomb, but a small titanium-cased hard drive wired to a sophisticated transmitter. "My God," Sarah whispered, staring at it. That's Daniel's research. That's the data he found. He must have hidden it. In her bear, she thought he hid it for her. But the sewing man, they hadn't taken anything. They had activated it. They were waiting for her to pass through security, using the child as the perfect, unsuspecting mule to get the data out of the country. And just as that realization hit us, just as the real weight of what we'd found settled in, Boone went ballistic. He wasn't whining anymore. He was raging. He launched himself at the office door, scratching, barking, in a way that just meant threat. "He's still here," I whispered. "The sewing man, he's still here." I cracked the door. Boone shot out, a brown blur, not running, hunting. He tore through the now empty terminal, straight toward the main arrivals gate. And I saw them, 2 men, dark suits, casual, trying to blend in with the chaos they'd created, walking just a little too fast toward the parking garage. "Boone! Apprehend!"
"I've never yelled it louder."
Boone covered 50 yards in about 3 seconds. The first man heard the barking, turned, saw 100 pounds of airborne fury, and just froze. Boone hit him full force in the chest. A perfect, non-lethal takedown. The second guy, he was different. He reached into his jacket. But before he could pull out whatever he had, the other 11 dogs, now released by their handlers, were on him. It wasn't even a fight. It was exactly what we trained them for. A total, complete, overwhelming shutdown. The terminal was a mess. Cops cuffed the 2 men who were screaming in, I think it was Russian or Serbian. I don't know. The adrenaline was wearing off. Maya was crying finally. A good cry. Sarah was holding her. Boone came trotting back, his tail held high, nudging my hand. He'd done his job. He'd saved the day, and that should have been the end of it, right? Heroes, medals, roll credits. But that's not how the real world works. That's when Agent Davies walked back in. And he wasn't alone. He was with real suits. Dark suits, blank faces. The kind of guys who don't have names. "Sullivan," Davies said, not even looking at me. "We'll take it from here." I just stared at him. "Like hell you will. Those are my collars. That's my evidence. This is a crime scene. The lead suit, the one who looked like he'd never smiled in his life, just showed me a badge. It didn't even have a name on it. Just a seal I didn't recognize. "This," he said, his voice quiet, is now a matter of national security. Your team and the airport police are ordered to stand down. The evidence, all of it, is being secured, and I watched them take the 2 suspects. I watched them take the titanium hard drive, the data that Daniel Parker died for. I watched them take everything. Sarah ran up to them. Wait, what's going to happen? What about my husband? Davies just looked at her. Cold. Ma'am, for your own safety and the safety of your daughter. You were never here. You saw nothing. This was a false alarm. A gas leak. Understand? We caught the delivery boys, but the bosses, the ones who worked for Aerodyne, or maybe the ones they were selling to, they just walked in and took the evidence. The whole cover-up, it just won, so. Here's the kicker. Davies, he got a promotion. He's regional director now, my unit. We got a quiet commendation in an email. And Sarah and Maya, they were relocated, put in some kind of witness protection. They just vanished, just like the dad, Boone. He's still my partner, but he's different. Sometimes we'll walk that same concourse and he'll stop, right by that gate, and just stare. He knows. He knows we didn't get everyone, so I gotta ask, what do you think? Did Davies do the right thing? Was it national security to just bury the truth and let a whistleblower's death mean nothing? Or did he just help the real bad guys clean up their own mess? And what the hell happens when a dog, a creature that only knows truth, runs headfirst into a human conspiracy? I don't know, but I'm really starting to wonder who the animals really are. Let me know what you think in the comments.